we are doing whatever it takes. It's about giving your all. From the players on the field to the members in the stands. Do whatever it takes. Call 1300 GO Bombers.
So Adrian, you join us, and it's a week after the draft was on. How have our recruits settled in?
Yeah, no, they've settled in really well. We just got back from the Gold Coast where they've had a week up there, and they've settled in really well, and they look like an exciting group.
There was a few reports in today's paper about our relationship with Frankston and the coach Simon Goosey. Can you just clarify that?
Yeah, look, I think it was a massive, massive beat-up, to be honest. Simon Goosey is the coach of the VFL Frankston Football Club, and we've utilised some of his services over the past 12 months. He looks at games over at that peninsula area. We get no advantage whatsoever from a Frankston perspective. They're talking about Dylan Van Unen in the paper, but he's there for everyone to see. I think it's quite extraordinary. I think it's just a couple of people being quite insecure, actually, to be honest.
The clubs in the AFL, it was reported, might be a bit concerned. You don't think there's going to be any concern about that?
Well, I don't see any issue as to why there would be a concern. I think we have a responsibility to support guys at lower levels, and we do that with a number of people. If we can give them some confidence and exposure to AFL, then it's better for our industry. So I don't see any issue whatsoever.
You mentioned Van Unen there. Him and Comer are two guys that are mature age recruits. Obviously really exciting to bring those two into the club.
Yeah, it is. And they're later picks, and they're two boys that we definitely targeted going into the draft. It was always interesting because we knew that Joey was our first pick, so we were able to look at the back end of the draft, and we wanted to walk out with those two guys. We really believe that they can play, possibly as early as round one next year, and give us some depth. Van Unen is one of those guys that can just play across half back. He reads the game so well. He sets it up. He plays tall and small, and we really wanted to bolster that end of the ground. So, we targeted him, and we're happy we've got him on board. But again, he was there for everyone to see. So,
just for the fans out there, when do you start sort of looking at a guy like that, and when does he sort of come onto the radar?
Well, it's funny because he actually played round one this year. Essendon VFL, or Bendigo Bombers VFL, played Frankston, and he played a fantastic game. Actually took a mark that was worthy of Mark of the Year, and that was the game that we started to take a little bit of notice. I know that I did, and then later on in the year he played against Northern Bull Ants out of Carlton one day and played an exceptional game. Happened to be there again that day, and that was probably the two occasions where we took notice of him. So, and then we tracked him from that point. So, there's there's nothing behind the scenes happening there. He's just happened to be a player in the draft pool like thousands of others.
Moving forward now, there's the pre-season draft coming up in about 2 weeks' time. We've got one pick in that. Dale Garlett's coming to train with the club. Is he the one that we're sort of looking at there?
No, not necessarily. Obviously, Dale's a highly talented youngster, but there's a number of boys that have missed out in the national draft. We've got one live pick, and we'll probably look at 6 or 7 boys, of which he's one of them. So we'll invite a few boys over as of Monday, and we'll take the best player available or the best player that suits our needs, and the boys will go through their paces, and we'll go through them inch by inch and make a call.
With Dale, there's obviously been a fair bit made about his off-field issues. Is that something that by having him here for 2 weeks, you get a chance to have a look and a feel for the sort of person and player that is and how he will fit in the club?
Absolutely. I think that's the advantage of having them in your environment. We need to find out as much about all the boys that are coming over, not just Dale. We need to find out how much welfare they require, whether they'll fit in, whether they'll stay in Melbourne. It's a long way from Perth for a lot of boys. So, look, there's a lot of things, and our coaches get to see these guys firsthand, and that's the best part about having them here. And we've had pretty good success rate with our pre-season picks over the last year. Kyle Hardingham and Tommy Bell-Chambers, and some of our later picks in rookie drafts have been good for us because we've been able to bring them into our environment and do our homework that way. So, looking forward to seeing a really good, exciting bunch of young boys putting their hand up for a spot.
Thanks for your time. Well done on the draft.
Thank you.